formally welcome. Both of you are members of the Advisory Council. I'd like to welcome all of you. And Shri Anil ji has been associated with our organization for quite some time now, and his guidance is extremely valuable in all matters. Some of you who have been regularly attending these interactions know the purpose of this exercise. It is to better understand certain issues in a very focused manner and to better appreciate the initiatives that are being taken, and so that after this we can also at our level and in various forums also disseminate what has been absorbed here. A number of path-breaking initiatives have already been undertaken by the present government, and one aspect of our, or rather one dimension of our activity is a focus on policies, on not only better understanding these policies, but to also better communicate the structures, the objectives of these policies. And I'm sure you'll agree with me when I say that in the last 2 years now, a number of interesting, a number of out-of-box initiatives have been undertaken. Anil ji has been the chairman of the Select Committee on the Real Estate, and it's a feather on his cap. He is now working on the other Prevention of Corruption Bill, which is also going to be unanimously, I think the way he is handling it, the way he is steering it in Parliament, it's also going to see a very unanimous acceptance. What is unique about this exercise of the Real Estate Bill, and I shall not take much time, but I want to bring this to your notice, and perhaps after the end of this exercise I can distribute and the office can even mail it to all of you. We need to realize, because this is not reported, we need to realize the great amount of unanimity and consensus that this bill received in Parliament from all quarters, cutting across, as they say, party lines. And you have, for example, the former Minister of Poverty Alleviation, Kumari Selja, who says that I would like to personally and on behalf of my colleagues place on record our appreciation and praise for the excellent work done by the committee, the members, and especially by the chairman. He really tried to take everybody on board. So when Prime Minister says that we have this commitment to the spirit of parliamentary democracy, and I think such exercises demonstrate that commitment to that spirit of consensus and dialogue. And I think the real estate bill is a symbol of that, apart from it being a very timely legislation. We have some very senior former bureaucrats here, former secretaries to Government of India, and others who have actually worked on this, and therefore I welcome you, sir, and I welcome all of you for having taken this opportunity to come here. Thank you. Now I leave the floor to you, Anil ji, and would like to really understand and
good evening all of you. I think entire bill is at present in front of the country and the world. So, and most of us might have not gone in detail with it, but must be knowing something preliminary things about the bill. So I think I need not have to go in detail of the bill, but one thing is there. I would like to tell you that I haven't built a single 10 by 15 square feet building in my life, or a room, not building. So I asked one very senior colleague that why you have made chairman of this committee, because one very senior gentleman, I can't name him. He said that whom we are going to make the chairman of this committee. He is a man from village, born and brought up in a very rural area and have no urban development experience. So I said, well, this is the same question in my mind also. Then that man said that we knew that who will come across when you will have a journey to pass the bill or the process. If you will go in Bangalore, Reddies will be there. If you will go Mumbai, Rahejas will be there. If you will come to Delhi, PLF is there. In every area of the country, there are a big chants, and they are capable enough to make any change. This I can say after passing this bill, not before that. So that man said that we wanted to have a person who cannot, no one can influence him. Better buy or abroad shabd is not good. I dislike that. But no one can influence him, and he will balance the bill and he will take care of everything. In the journey, I found a pressure. When I was about to present the bill, half an hour before that, there was a pressure. Don't present. Postpone it. I said, no, sir. Only 3% can postpone. Cabinet Minister of the meeting, of the department, Venkaiah Naidu, member of leader of the House, Arun Jaitley, and Prime Minister. Not fourth one. So, I'm just telling about the seriousness of that bill. और इसको थोड़ी देर बाद लाना, प्लीज लीव. So somehow that bill passed, and now it is almost part of the Indian Constitution. I don't want to go in detail with the bills because you may go there, but have a 4-5 major points of the bill. This bill starts with agreement. Before agreement, it does not exist. When you come in contact with buyer and seller, and when they have agreement, this bill starts functioning, and it ends the moment possession is given or occupancy certificate is received and it has been given to the consumer. That this is as per the agreement we are giving you this area. This includes everything from housing, commercial, these, that. And I know that 60% of the money of this country flows in this area. That's a parking area also. And of course we want to eliminate black money from the market, but it should be dealt gently, nicely, and with a calculated mind. So, knowing this thing, we have had a very silent feature into that. Few very good words were put into that. One of them is carpet area. Every corner of the world, in India, कोई कहेगा कि total area, built up area, super built up area. And being a consumer, a small consumer who has a provident fund gratuities and collected after 30-40 years, when he come in front of the builder or his person, he is not capable enough to read what exactly he is getting signed by me with the certain norms and rules and these and that, and eventually at the end they will say you had signed this paper. So now we will say there will be only carpet area. Carpet area means wall to wall area which is used for living. That's all. If you have something like lobby, if you have something like garage, if you have something like anything parking, that's out of it. And you can mention into your project. Another very good thing which is there in this bill is this every builder who is going for a project of 500 square meter will have to register in this. Without registration, he cannot start work. And when I say registration means the land must have its longitude and latitudes on the net. From that to builder's own concern, members, partners or director of the company, their previous projects, their previous consumers, everything will be on public, on the net. When we go to book a room in the hotel anywhere in the world, we go for the consumer comments. Then we say, okay, ये hotel में कमरा लेना के नहीं लेना. We are taking a property of 30 lakhs, 50 lakhs, 1 crore and no comments of consumers. So now everything will be on net. Previous project, this, present project and consumer's detail on that. And his comments, his or her comments. Another very good thing which is there in this bill is advertisement. Now what was happening? A very beautiful part of Noida or some designed computerized photograph. One foreign heroes and then another heroine and 2 children and the photograph of them is shown. So everyone has a dream to have a house in the urban area, anywhere, urban or rural area. So people think I will have this type of house which is there, published in the paper. But when he actually goes and find the house, it is not fit for dogs. Because while going across the country, we have heard consumer also. They have shown me the papers. I'm really annoyed with that. The way builders has given the type of a houses, no one can live into that. So now no one can advertise which he is not going to deliver. He will have to advertise only that thing which he is going to sell and to give the possession. So, and no animated or articulately made pictures can be published or shown to the consumer or a market. This is very good things, and I always believe जिस घर में पर्दे नहीं होते वहाँ ट्रांसपेरेंसी होती है. पर्दा जो है वो आपको छुपाता है कि अंदर कुछ हो रहा है, आप बाहर से मत देखिए. What is wrong? Entire project should be on the table, on the net. Let everyone see this. So advertisement is another point. There are very many points. But being a person in a political office and being a politician, I would like to say one thing. We had been to Mumbai, then Bangalore, then Calcutta, then Shimla, and most of the states representations, builders associations representation, CREDAI, and from morning to evening we were hearing each and every section of the society, from consumer, law firms, financial institutes, these, that. What should be the way of working as a political party? The right way of working is this. What Kumari Shelja said, similarly, same sentence was used by the Ridvat Banerjee of CPIM, who is diametrically opposite to me. Exactly. Not opposite. And that the word he has also used.
Yeah, he says was utmost democratic. The entire process in the select committee was utmost democratic.
So I tried to accommodate each and everyone. And I always believe when there is no election, make sure you play in such a way. You are the leader, you are the captain, you are doing everything. Don't show your arrogancy by your deeds while you're talking, moving, sitting, everything. It is not going to be soft, accommodative. In being a chairman, one has a right to drop any idea. One need not have to say that I am forced to do this. So this is the way of working which Shyama Prasad Mukherjee has created. And we have miles to go with this working. This is the way of Janasangha. This is the way probably Shyama Prasad Mukherjee might have thought कि एक पॉलिटिकल गवर्नेंस ऐसी आना चाहिए, पीएम उसको कहते हैं, बट इट शुड बी रिफ्लेक्टेड थ्रू आवर डीड्स. And probably I feel that consensus, trying to build the consensus, it does not mean that in the committee there were no person, those who were tracking interest of the builders and they were forcing us to have some points here and there. But that articulation should always be there. Once had in Hyderabad, while public show was going 400 years before, Nawab of Hyderabad asked a question to Shivaji. I have this elephant. He is the best elephant. Do you have anyone in your state? He said, yes, I have. Then Nawab said, who is he? He said, he is he. So, can we have a fight tomorrow in the morning? He said, okay. Tomorrow when in the morning, when both were there in arena, Shivaji's hero cut the trunk of the elephant at one shot, and eventually that died. So Nawab said, I want your elephant now into my force. How to say that I am telling? Shivaji said, how I can give this man? He is a pearl in the mala. I cannot take out from the middle a pearl and cannot give you. This is the way to say no. You are saying no, but you are not saying in blunt, in a way a good politician should say. You have said no. Not possible. माला के बीच का मोती मैं नहीं दे सकता. Or probably this is the diplomatic language. Or this is the right political way of speaking and talking. So the bill is, and that's why the bill came on the floor of the parliament, on the Rajya Sabha, where the majority of BJP is not there. Even though without any amendments, everyone said we are passing this. Government made some suggestions. That's why it had to go to Lok Sabha and then passed immediately and went to President. And now it is back from there. So this bill is going to have a great impact on Indian industry, particularly industry means housing industry. FDI will come into that because suppose I am or we are big millionaire in the world and wants to invest in India and there is no regulation. No one is going to invest. There is no regulation, we can't come. Who will care for the safety of the buy capital? So now FDI will come. Banks were not giving their funds into this area because there was no security. Now banks will say, I ask, I'm not going to name the chairman of the bank, how much percentage of your turnover you are giving to real estates? The figure was very shocked and surprising. Less than 3%. Industry which is having a turnover, and if you think of total parking of the money in this country, is either in the land or a building. Suppose you have a 10 crores, you want to keep it safe and you don't want to keep in the bank, or you don't want to purchase a gold and you will have to have a guard on that. It is always advisable to have a one mall or a two mall and put some security persons. Your money is intact there. If it is not going to sell today, tomorrow it will. So that is the right way of parking also. Knowing all this thing, money will be secured, consumer will have a good builders, because bad builders, fly by nights builders will be out, because कोई नौकरी नहीं मिलती है. Once I had been to Noida and I was shocked to know, and you are as familiar with the Delhi, but I am not that much. So मैंने पूछा ये क्या बेच रहे हैं? On the both side of the road with the tent, that is small makeshift tent, they were selling the flats, or just like in the bus stand or elsewhere we find out मेरे पास आओ पूरी खाओ type का. When you are selling your property like this, it indicates the health of industry, and I measure everything by symptoms. भगवान कृष्ण से हे अर्जुन तू क्यों निराश होता है? मैं ऐसा कोई लक्षण नहीं देख रहा जिससे हार जाएंगे, कोई लक्षण नहीं देख रहा. तो symptoms, you find a symptoms from this, and tomorrow this will change, and we will have a good builders in the market, bad builders will be out of market, we will have a good consumer, we will make sure that all bad consumers should be out, and even a very fine tune, those who deal in this business must be knowing this thing, that bulk buyer, there was a huge debate, long debate, that bulk buyer should be out of this. If I will put bulk buyer out of this, who is going to invest 100%? You have put 70% in escrow account, and now everything is there for the industry only, that project only. So bulk buyer are needed. They should come. But after the registration of the consumer, association of the society, bulk buyer should not dominate the society. That's why we said, if you have a 10 flats, your right of vote will be 1. You cannot have a 10 votes, because each and everyone should be guarded, so that no builder can change unnecessary change into the project. Minor changes, okay, fine, one can do this. So this entire journey is good, and a man who has no 10 by 15 square feet plot or building in my hand, and I have no experience of purchasing bricks and iron and these and that, but somehow it happens, it went on and on, very good, and today we have this with the party. It is not feather in my paw. I am the man of the world, let me live unseen, unknown and unfounded, and the word is used by the English author is let me die, but I don't like to use that. Let me rest where no one can say where I am lying. So this is not my, people say politicians are always hungry and thirsty about sitting on the dais, having garlands, credits. These are the words which are there from every political party. My secretary told me, shall I circulate this to the media? I said no. This they have said in the good faith. And I don't want that they should be weak into their own party. I must take care of them. It is their love and affection, that's why they are saying this thing. So I am not in that area, I am not that politician, and I dislike that, because I knew Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee started this party not to be the B team of the Congress. He said, I will have a new way of working, new way of work culture, new way of established things, and being a politician, I am doing politics. I do 100% politics, and probably any founder of the party would wanted to see this thing in the picture. So this is overall bill is quite long with 82 clause. You can go in detail with that, and but I am happy. The letters I am receiving, the mail I am receiving, the SMS I am receiving, they shows the builders and consumers both satisfied with the bill, which is very rare. Otherwise, the consumer will say, you have not taken our interest rightly, or the builder will say. But yes, tomorrow this industry will grow, and it will have a great impact, and probably we may have a project outside India where Indian builders will go there and build a good commercial, official, residential projects. So this is all what from my side. If anything you have in the mind to say or to ask or to clarify, please do.
Thank you. So I'll open the floor now. So I'll request Raj Libaran ji to make your observations. The exercise is to, as we have put it up there also, to better understand this.
Compliment the way the perspective has been presented in a matter of fact, in a very, very sober manner, is most impressive. And indeed, it's a huge achievement that the real estate regulation has finally come out in some shape or the other. This has been the crying need of the industry, particularly from the point of view of the consumer, who has really had a raw deal time, sort of from almost last 30, 40 years. In fact, there are builders who have not delivered the possession for 10 years, for 12 years, etc. And I think the most significant contribution, Anilji, is the fact that you have nailed it to the carpet area. This is the biggest confusion, because not only was the consumer unaware, but the consumer was helpless. He had no choice, he had to pay. And invariably I have seen the agreements, sort of where at the time of delivery also, this super area has increased. And it was always never the usable area. It was the area in the lobbies and the staircases, etc. Super area has increased, so 20% more must be paid by the consumer. I think it's a very good step, very much needed step. The only thing I would just want to clarify was whether the real estate regulator has been given a time frame within which the decisions must be recorded. Because that is one of the the problems of all regulation, that we create tribunals, we create regulators with good intentions, and the process becomes the punishment. So I think I haven't seen the bill in great detail, but if this stipulation has been made, I think it is one of the legislation that will be a landmark.
These types of points, they have been kept silent because we are in a federal structure. So now this bill will go to all states, and they can make a necessary change into that. But it has been mentioned in the bill that the time frame should be given to the government servant. Suppose you need a clearance from the environment clearance in the different municipal corporation, states, bodies elsewhere, or from the regulatory authority. Everywhere time frame should be given. But it depends on the state what time they want to give for particular job. Because if we will say 3 months, 6 months, then certainly they will say you are trying to force us. So the bill is there, time frames clause is always there, and we want that it should come. Exactly what you are saying is a part of good governance. Timely governed, timely delivered system. And just 2 years have passed. We have a long way to go for good governance. So automatically, everywhere, not here only. Today also I had a discussion in Prevention of Corruption Act. There too, point was coming that 2 year is the maximum limit, or it should reduced or further extended for 3 year or 4 year, particularly for the investigation and judgment. So कानून की कमी नहीं है, कानून को क्रियान्वित करने वाले दमदार लोगों की कमी है, ये मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ. बाबा साहब has written a good कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, सेम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, सेम स्टेट सर्विस, गुजरात इज देयर. ना IAS बदले, ना IPS बदले, ना स्टेट सर्विसेज बदली, ना रिसोर्सेज बदले, ना दुनिया बदली. वो भी स्टेट है, दूसरा भी स्टेट है. अंतर क्या है? अंतर एक आदमी का. वो आदमी खड़ा करिए. डॉक्टर हेडगेवार कहते थे आदमी खड़ा करिए. आदमी खड़ा हो जाएगा तो कुछ भी डिलीवर हो जाएगा. आदमी नहीं होगा इस बिल्डिंग के अंदर, अगर अनिर्बन जी नहीं होंगे और उनकी टीम नहीं होगी तो ये बिल्डिंग है, ठीक है, AC है, कमरा है, बाकी सब. तो सिमिलरली गवर्नेंस के इन सारे क्लॉज के अंदर क्या करें, ये भी एक बड़ी समस्या है. लेकिन फिर भी ठीक है, जितना हम स्ट्रिक्ट कर सकते हैं उसको करना चाहिए और कर रहे हैं. बट वन थिंग इज़ there are very many loose ends put in this bill. They are there, and only because state government must have a final executions, laws and everything, rules, regulations. They will form and they will do according to that.
I request Shri Dhanendra Kumar, former Culture Secretary, former Chairman of the Competition Commission of India. He has been also very closely associated with the real estate bill in its initial stages. So I'd like to also get your views on the.
थैंक यू सो मच. सबसे पहले तो मैं अनिल जी को और सारी सरकार को बहुत बधाई देना चाहूँगा कि ये जो बिल आया है ये एक लैंडमार्क डेवलपमेंट है भारत के रियल एस्टेट डेवलपमेंट के क्षेत्र में. When a few matters came before us, particularly the DLF's case, and we studied the problems of consumers, and we also studied the global situation, the various laws which existed elsewhere, and the various deficiencies which were troubling the consumers. In that case, of course, the CCI imposed very heavy penalty on the DLF, holding them a dominant undertaking because that was essential. Without that, the CCI can't do anything. And then imposing a penalty of 630 crores and identifying various lacunae in the whole process. It is ironical that for the same lapses, unequal provisions and everything else, all other cases, and there were at least 24 I am aware, which had to be dismissed, identical, because they were not dominant technically. एक्चुअली क्या है कि एक टर्म मैं आपको बताऊं जो हमने स्टडी करते हुए देखा था. इंग्लैंड में एक टर्म है कॉन्ट्रा प्रेफरेंटम. अगर एक आपने एग्रीमेंट बनाया और एग्रीमेंट में जो क्लॉज आपने लिख के बहुत सारे बना के दे दिए कि ये आप साइन कर दीजिए, तो जो प्रिजम्पशन होगा अगर वो अनइक्वल है, जैसे होता था कि आपने बतौर कंज्यूमर ने अगर कोई डिले कर दी इंस्टॉलमेंट में तो आपको तो 18% पेनल्टी या इंटरेस्ट लगेगा. अगर उसने कुछ डिले कर दी जो अक्सर होती थी 3 साल 4 साल 5 साल से भी ज़्यादा, और अभी तो बहुत सारे ऐसे जो पूरे ही नहीं हुए, उसको सिर्फ ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 5 रुपये पर स्क्वायर फुट देना पड़ेगा या इस प्रकार का प्रोविज़न था. तो ये कॉन्ट्रा प्रेफरेंटम का सिद्धांत इस्टेब्लिश्ड है कि प्रिजम्पशन वुड बी ड्रॉन अगेंस्ट द पर्सन हु ड्राफ्टेड दैट एग्रीमेंट. तो अब ये सब बातें उस वक्त सामने आई थी. तो इसको आपकी कमेटी ने इतने अच्छे से सब ध्यान में रखा है. आई वॉज ऑल्सो एसोसिएटेड विद दैट लेटर ऑन कि अब इक्वल चीज़ होगी, बैलेंस्ड होगा, मिरर इमेज होगा. जितना उसको लगेगा पेनल्टी उतना उसको भी लगेगा. डिस्क्लोजर पूरा करना पड़ेगा. कंज्यूमर के सारे हितों की सुरक्षा इससे हो पाएगी जो अब नहीं हो पा रही है, क्योंकि सीसीआई तभी एक्ट कर सकता है अगर डोमिनेंट हो. कंज्यूमर कोर्ट्स के पास आप जाइए, जा सकते हैं, सालों साल लगते हैं. होता कुछ नहीं, और बहुत ज़्यादा हुआ भी छोटा मोटा कुछ फाइन लगा देगा जो फिर अपील में चलता रहता है। तो एक ये जो रियल एस्टेट रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटी बनाने की बात हुई है, इस क्षेत्र में रेगुलेटर बनाने की निहायत ज़रूरत थी। अभी अनिल जी ने एक बहुत अच्छी बात कही कि चूंकि ये क्षेत्र हमारे यहाँ तो फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर है और ये सब्जेक्ट स्टेट्स का है, तो ये एक बन गया सेंट्रल कानून, लेकिन हर स्टेट ने अपने अपने यहाँ पर रेगुलेटर्स अपने आप बनाने हैं और उनकी रेगुलेशंस जो होंगी, जो गवर्निंग होगी काम करने की, वो सब अपने आप बनानी है। फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है ये, मैं तो उसको वर्ड फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी कहूँगा कि वो कोई गैप नहीं छोड़े, बट जो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी स्टेट्स को देने की ज़रूरत है वो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी दे दी गई है। बल्कि एक आध चीज़ें जो आपके रिमार्क्स में आपने नहीं कही, वो इतनी महत्वपूर्ण है कि आपने एक ले लिया फ्लैट लेने के 5 साल के अंदर अगर आपको लगा कि उसमें स्ट्रक्चरल डिफेक्ट है, तो ये आपके पास कुछ नहीं, आप क्या करेंगे? कुछ नहीं, आप ले चुके, पोजीशन ले चुके, बात खत्म। लेकिन 5 साल तक अगर स्ट्रक्चरल डिफेक्ट पाया गया और आपने पॉइंट आउट किया, तो बिल्डर को 30 दिन में उसको रिपेयर करना पड़ेगा। ये भी प्रोविज़न है उसके अंदर। तो एक तरीके से जो कंज्यूमर है उसके हितों की सुरक्षा का पूरा ध्यान रखा गया है, और जब ये कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ेगा कंज्यूमर्स का, तो इस क्षेत्र का विकास भी होगा। बल्कि इसमें एक प्राविधान ये भी है जो उस वक्त सोच में था कि रियल एस्टेट के डेवलपमेंट के लिए डेवलपर्स की एक शिकायत थी कि सिंगल विंडो क्लियरेंस का मैकेनिज्म होना चाहिए, तो वो भी हो जाएगा इसमें। जब एक ये रेगुलेटर बन ही गया तो ये भी हो जाएगा, उनकी भी समस्याओं का निदान हो जाएगा। तो मैं समझता हूँ कि एक बड़ा बैलेंस्ड तरीके का विकास हो सकता है, क्योंकि जहाँ पर ये क्षेत्र हमारे देश में रोज़गार पैदा करने के लिए सबसे बड़ा क्षेत्र या सबसे बड़े क्षेत्रों में माना जाता है, और रोटी कपड़ा और मकान में तो इसकी निहायत ही ज़रूरत है। ये इसमें इतने सारे कमियाँ अभी जो चल रही थी, जैसा कहा गया अभी कि सुपर एरिया, कारपेट एरिया, और ये सब तो हम रोज़ ही एज कंज्यूमर्स देखते हैं। आज भी आई एम ए ब्यूरोक्रेट, और हमारे पास इतने लोग सिफारिश करते थे कि साहब हमारा पैसा फंसा हुआ है 5 साल से उस बिल्डर के पास में, वो ना कुछ कर रहे, वापस दिला दीजिए। हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते थे, किसको कहें, किसी के बस में वो आते नहीं थे। तो कम से कम एक फोरम अब ऐसा हो गया कि लोग जाकर अपनी ग्रीवांसेस का रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं। तो मेरे विचार से तो एक ये लैंडमार्क डेवलपमेंट हुआ है इस क्षेत्र के विकास के लिए। वर्ल्ड बैंक की स्टडीज़ के मुताबिक भी, और मैं तो एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर वर्ल्ड बैंक में रहा था वाशिंगटन, हिंदुस्तान में कंस्ट्रक्शन की रैंकिंग यहाँ पर 182 आउट ऑफ 185 है। तो अब इसके बाद में हमें उम्मीद है, अब तो खैर प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने शुरू में घोषणा की थी कि ईज़ ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस में हमें बहुत ऊपर जाना है। मैं समझता हूँ कि इस क्षेत्र में हमारी रैंकिंग काफ़ी ऊपर जाएगी और देश का विकास होगा, जनता को भी आराम मिलेगा, और इससे जीडीपी के अंदर भी बढ़ाने में सहायता मिलेगी। मैं तो आपको साधुवाद देना चाहूँगा।
धन्यवाद।
Thank you.
Initially, I think the bill,
Whichever was created, and after the journey of almost 3 to 4 years, we had a change in the language, we have put some new words, we have eliminated some sentences and words. So gradually we found that it is a huge change. But every change was made with the consensus of the committee. And one thing which I initially created, don't look to the builder as a criminal. He is an entrepreneur. Therefore have a division, good builder and bad builder. I know very many persons, those who build very fine colony or mall or commercial system buildings, they are good builders. So when दृष्टि जो होती है वो भावना बताती है. So don't look to the builder in this way. And that's why what he was saying is very right. If there is a punishment for delay to consumer, to buyer, similar same 18% will be there for the builder also. So we try to balance the whole the thing. And in fact, perfection is nothing. Perfection is a perfect balance. We say perfect karo, perfect karo. What is perfect? Perfect is nothing. When the combination of color are perfectly blended, it's a perfection. So what is the difference between old and new is this: we try to make it more and more perfect and more acceptable. And when we look to any karmachari after 30 years, his bank balance indicates the provident fund and gratuity, and he goes and book the building, and at the end that old man with old lady paying the rent for last 7 years and not finding the flat. So that's horribly. I just imagine. I think that it's a crime. So we try to balance each and everything without saying this thing that you are bad, you are not good, you are criminal, you are doing this. I know they do that. I know. I don't want to name them, but they are there. But because of lack of regulation, if there is no law and order, collector is not functioning properly, SP is not functioning properly, in that district, the bunks will have a right. They will have a voice. But if there will be a force, if there will be a law and order situation, automatically law will function. So this regulation will create law into the entire industry, which was not there. It was dabang's dunya. गुंडागर्दी करो, कोई मकान ले लो, फ्लैट ले लो, you start one project in Bangalore and wind up that project and go to Hyderabad. Now one cannot go because his photograph will be there, his previous projects will be there, and he will have every detail and very difficult to run. So that way this bill transmitted from original one. I told Shelja, this is your baby. I just put some cloth on that and now it has grown full. But you initiated this, you made it initially, so credit should be given to you. And the beauty of Atalji is this: he gives credit to others and eventually that comes back to you. This is the right way of doing politics. While saying this thing, I did politics. Okay, so I should do. Otherwise, I must wear a saffron cloth and go into the jungle and find out my soul. But that I am not doing. At present, I am here in the battle. So the change is only this, but this is the balanced. But it is not the best. In due course of time, within 5, 7 years, 10 years, further amendments will come. By the experience, by the deeds, by when this law will be implemented into the society, automatically changes will start coming from that angle. Ye badlo, ye badlo. Whosoever will be there in the parliament, they will make necessary change. So I don't call it as the perfect, but it is towards perfect.
There is one point actually I have read that it will prevent the unplanned development also.
Yes.
So, right.
Certainly, because
How?
when you will propose a project, then all the clearances for that land will be first required. It should not be in a green belt, these, that, and everything. That clearances are required, and they will be mentioned in the site. The project in which I am going to have a plot or a bungalow or XYZ, how many clearances that project has. So automatically, when you get the clearances from the different departments of the governing body of municipal corporation or state, That is because of the planned organizations, planned systems. Otherwise, unplanned, anyone can build. Because look at the rural area. Because I live in the rural area, there is no regulation. So anyone could go anywhere and just start. Anyone will have a road or these or that. Still, we need not only a urban development planning, we need a rural development planning also. And Gandhi ji used to say, शहरों के विकास से मालूम नहीं क्या होगा, मुझे नहीं मालूम, लेकिन देश में गांव का विकास नहीं होगा और उसका प्लान्ड स्ट्रक्चर खड़ा नहीं होगा और उसके लिए भी रेगुलेशंस की कभी न कभी ज़रूरत पड़ेगी. तो वो तो है ही, उस क्लॉज के कारण ये अंतर आएगा.